and welcome to the Blackwater Cantina, where we will talk all kinds of rubbish about War Machine and probably a bunch of pop culture as well because we can't help ourselves. I'm Mike, and today I'm with
Mazz.
Robin.
And we have a few really exciting announcements to cover. Robin, why don't you start off?
So, starting off with, we now have a Patreon. So we are bringing the show for you guys now. So if you want to come support us for less than a cornetto, especially in the summer heat at the moment, you are more than welcome to come and support us. You do not have to pay for it. But if you do want to support us, that will help us out very much.
I will say this now has been recorded that Robin has said he is cheaper than the Cornetto.
But yeah, anything that we take from the Patreon will just go back into getting better microphones and cameras and bits and pieces, and so yeah,
we have a long way to go, but anything that anyone is happy to give us, we are so happy to take and put back into this because this is a passion project of four idiots who just love a game.
Exactly.
The other thing with this is coming to you guys and talking to you about this because we want to keep transparency not within ourselves but with you guys as well. So us explaining to you what our donation is and what we spend that money on. That is all we want to do is just show a bit of transparency and a bit of faith.
Yeah. So
yeah,
appreciate it. If anyone wants to sign up, I'll put the link in the description down below as well. Also down below is a subscribe button. While you're there, just hit that too. That's always good. We like the subscribe button.
And the
Yeah, and the bell.
Clicking the things, the make the dings, as another YouTuber I like says quite well. So, we've also all been a little bit busy the past week or so.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit, just a touch. Robin, you've been busy? Other than work?
Yeah, actually I have I finished painting Prospero and we talked about a great detail last week. Unfortunately I have no more album covers to cover with this, but I do have freshly painted is the Ascendant Mentalist, which I showed to you guys. Just Mazz's great love for it. I think I could have been wrong when he sent me the message, but
it is glorious. I love the miniature very much.
I need a second one. I've been testing all sorts of different painting techniques in lab this week. I've also been playing around with some bioluminescence because I have been painting up some. I can't even remember what they're called now. Blackwater mists. There we go. All one finished one and one half finished one, but they have been sat on my living room table and it is super bright. So that's all for you guys.
Looks good, buddy.
And that's it. I know it's not quite 100 points everybody expects me to have painted by now. We're only a week into the new month, but
I was gonna say you've normally finished everything and moved on to a new project.
that is very unlike me. It's the only time that since you guys were like, "Here's a journeyman thing," right? Cool. I have no idea what this is. I'm just gonna paint everything. Oh, I've got another army. Through that. Otherwise, it sits in the cabinet for 12 years and I don't touch anything. So.
Yeah. So I have been getting all the Grimkin ready, so they are all based, undercoated, ready. All the zenithal highlights are on. I even recorded some of the process, so I'm going to attempt to make a painting guide video for it as well. Apologies if that turns out terribly, but we'll give it a go. We'll see what we can do. So those are on the docket to be done hopefully next week. And then tomorrow I'm off to go and actually see Aaron in the flesh. Yep. We're going to go play games. I did threaten to take some Dark Operations down, but I think I'm actually going to end up taking Dusk because I haven't printed the bases I need to put my Dark Operations stuff on bases. So yeah, it's going to be.
You mean you don't have a stockpile of War Machine bases?
I don't. Do you know what? I don't think I've got like 3 spare bases in total. So
I think I've got a drawer.
yeah. No, I'm having to print bases out. So thankfully I've got a friend who's got an FDM printer, so we're just going to print a bunch of those out. And then of course I've pre-ordered the Phantasm, which went up for pre-order yesterday as of recording. So, and somebody has Ragemonger on the way because free postage was £15 more than the cost of the Phantasm. So yeah. So yeah, Mike, what's been on your desk?
Well, on my desk, apart from stuff from another large UK company that I'm not going to mention because they make too much money, I've had a couple of Raptors and another unit of Criterion. So here we are so far.
Looking good.
Nice and ready. We've still got some detail work to do on all of them, but the skin colour on the Criterion was my priority because it's a pain in the backside.
Yeah. I'm still playing around with the skin tones for mine. My friend who is printing everything off for me printed a test set for me just to play around with like skin tones and colour schemes and things on. So I'm trying to get that nice undershade of purple and bruised going on. So
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like the Army Painter violet shade.
Yeah.
It sits quite nicely over like a skin tone. So
I've kind of undercoated them in a colour called Hexed Lichen and then worked up from a imperial purple-ish base tone. So yeah, be interesting. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, so for Big Alice, I used Hawkins Glow as the base. Then I used the Drakenhof. Is it Drakenhof? No, it's the Darko Fur Flesh contrast paint from Citadel. Then followed over by the Vallejo's skin pigment colour. And it was various shades of dry brushing. You pick out all the details and occasional edge highlighting, made it pop.
Mm. Yeah, your Big Alice looks really cool. I really like that mini. It's good.
Me too.
Good. Right, so War Machine Wednesday just updated. So we're going to have a wild conspiracy section later, but for now,
oh yes,
Gravediggers. Let's talk Gravediggers because we dropped 2 things.
Let's stick with the home favourites of Steamforge. Go back to Signal.
Yeah. So the Assault Strider has dropped. I'm assuming works very nicely with Boom Boom McCoy, who is also in an Assault Strider. Because who doesn't like airdropping walking tanks?
Yeah, I mean, the fact that you can have Boom Boom McCoy and 2 Assault Striders in your list.
And they're not a huge number of points. There's 10 points each.
10
so
points.
They're not... Yeah.
I mean, their defense 9, but they're huge.
Yeah, so they're on 80mm bases?
80mm base.
Yeah, 80mm base. Defense 9,
possible
armor 19, and 24 hitboxes.
Yeah.
So, reasonably tough. What do we think? I mean...
to be honest, I'm a big sucker for anything that's got legs that can walk around. Production, especially because it looks very much like the models from Iron Harvest, the PC game.
Yeah. Like Scythe-esque kind of artwork. So yeah. They look really cool. The model looks amazing. I think they're absolutely fantastic, and they're going to make a glorious centerpiece for a Gravedigger army.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And that battle cannon. So a power 16, range 12 gun, AoE 2, and critical knockdown. So I'm slightly surprised it's not got momentum. It's got critical knockdown instead.
Yeah.
I think my thoughts on criticals are very clear at this point, but nice to have, but yeah. But it's a big hit. Power 16 is a big...
It's a big chunk hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, with splash damage 10 as well, so use that.
It's only AoE 2 though.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. I don't know how effective that's going to be, but I suppose with that big gun you're going to be targeting something chunky anyway, like a jack, aren't you? Realistically.
Oh, with that strength, with that power, yeah.
Then you've got light machine guns times 2, at 6, range 10, rate of fire is D3, and
and it's got Mazz's favourite in the world, volume fire.
Yeah, so volume fire we love. It's a glorious, glorious rule.
We do love volume fire in this house.
And power 12 as well, so power 14 against heavy jacks, which, you know, probably not removing them in one turn, but respectable enough to deal with that. It's going to deal with cavalry and things like that quite easily. Makes it rat 8 against large bases.
Against Dusk, you're going to need it.
What? Dusk cavalry is not broken. Yeah, it's pretty good. So I think
it solves a couple of problems.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think this is not necessarily it's doing any one thing that the Gravediggers were particularly missing, but it's a beautiful model and it's a cool centerpiece. Especially if you're using Boom Boom McCoy and you can run 3 of them in our list, essentially. That's going to be cool.
So instead of having 3 the same, just because you might want to change, Boom Boom McCoy is a heavy mortar and 2 organ guns.
Yeah.
Just to make things a little bit different. Still slightly different, but nice enough that you kind of, as everyone says, you like a good change.
Yeah, so he's AoE 3, power 14 on his gun, range 15. Though.
Yeah,
that's pretty good. And then he rocks fire for effect, so boost the attack and damage rolls of friendly faction models for the first range attack each activation. Boosting on those battle cannons. That's nice.
Yeah.
And inhospitable ground, so enemy models treat open terrain as rough terrain. Should slow everyone down a bit. And he's only arc 6. And he's going to be spending 2 for that, and then I'm sure 1 for focus, 1 for fire for effect each turn.
I mean, that's what you need when you've got those. You just want to slow everyone down so you've got enough time to keep shooting them.
Do you like his one action cost ability though, the spyglass ability?
Yes. Yeah, taking away stealth on a model that is within his line of sight. To be fair...
Hey, Dusk. Hey, Dusk. You know how much stealth you've got?
All of it. All the stealth.
No.
But that's what I take the Mage Hunter Commanders for. They've got that same ability, and it is glorious.
Moving swiftly.
That's alright, they do other things as well, but yeah, Spyglass is cool.
It's going from a spyglass to what you might need that spyglass to. We've got the heavy field gun.
Big bada boom.
which we were discussing before we got onto this call, because it's an interesting bit of ordnance.
The fact that you can take two of them.
It's point cost of 8. It's rat 6. It's a armor 18. It is unmovable or immovable. Sorry. It does have forward deployment up to 8 inches beyond your deployment zone, and you can do coordinated barrage. So if you've got, we were discussing earlier that if you have such things as commandos with ambush and flare, you can get straight up into them to help with the howitzer. Special abilities on that.
So that coordinated barrage ability, so it lets you make ranged attacks targeting enemy models that are suffering flare, and you can ignore range and line of sight. So you can fire this anywhere on the table as long as you put a flare on them. And there's a bunch of stuff that puts flare in the list.
Gravediggers do love the flare.
Yeah, it's great. I really like it. You got the heavy machine gun crews do it. As Robin mentioned, the Gravedigger commandos can do it, so you can ambush on and then paint target. I guess it's only range 5, but you do that and then land the big walloping howitzer on someone. Yeah.
It's just ignoring range and line of sight. I think what you should do is, with those pesky dusk people that like to keep stealth all the time, especially snipers, is you get your ambushing unit. Sorry, should say is you start off with Captain Boom Boom McCoy and you go over there, gone. They don't have stealth anymore. Ambushers come on, flare them, light them up like the Christmas tree, and have at it with the howitzer.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, you don't even have to remove stealth. Once you put flare on them, that removes stealth as well. So,
yep.
There you go.
My way is the way I want to do it. It sounds more thematic if I had Gravediggers.
Combined fire, and yeah. I mean, Boom Boom McCoy also gets bonus points for his big old moustache as well. He's got one of the most glorious moustaches in all of War Machine.
He is a glorious, glorious man.
Yeah.
So going into Howitzer's special rules, sorry. So we've got Rat 6, it's got Ranger 14, it is AoE 3, its damage output is 16, and then it's got a splash damage of 10 for the AoE effect. And then going into the weapon types, so it has arcing fire, so an attacking weapon, this model can be got into models. A couple of attack types, so it's got Crater. On a direct hit, models suffer -2 speed for one round, which we know how Mazz feels about criticals.
It's on a direct hit, so it's not a critical hit. So any one hit gets a -2 speed.
Yeah. We've got Electric Blast Field. This attack causes electrical damage on a direct hit. A cloud effect template is placed on the model hit. The cloud causes a hazard that remains in play for 1 round. Models entering an activation in the template suffer a POW 10 electrical damage roll. So I think that one's probably the best one that's just going to do, because if you do 16, then you're doing splash damage of 10 with this cloud effect, then you're dropping a third hit of electrical damage.
Yeah.
It does depend though, because the crater can be very useful when you have something very speedy coming across the board at you.
I'm just liking the fact that I can get a potential 3 lots of damage out in a single hit.
Yeah.
We've got these. Yeah, sorry. Then we've got the incendiaries. The attack causes fire, and models hit with this gain the fire continuous effect. And then we have suppressive fire. A warrior, model, or unit hit by an attack made by the model. This activation that suffers a -2 rat for 1 round, which is really good.
Yeah, so you're landing big hits, powerful hits, anywhere on the table that you can get into a good position, and then you can debuff things so they're not only suffering -2 speed, so they can't reach you, so they then have to rely on their ranged attacks. You're giving them -2 rat. Granted, it's probably not going to save the field gun from getting shot with its defensive 8, but yeah, that's gonna.
Well, it depends on if you've where you've put it and if it's using the extended shot.
Yeah, like that forward deployment for an extra 8 inches of deployment is nice. However, if you deploy it too far forward, it's gonna get removed pretty quickly.
Like my thought would be, if I was to run like one or, God, I know me, it would probably be 2 of these. Put one in each back corner of the field, and just keep flaring stuff and shooting it.
Yeah. Well, this is why I think the heavy machine gun crew, like the commandos coming on and using their paint target is cool and very thematic, but because it's only range 5, that's a little harder to apply.
Yeah.
Whereas.
And you can have 4 heavy machine gun crews, so you've got plenty of chances to flare up.
Well, yeah, you've got range 12, D3+1 shots from each one, and it ignores stealth when resolving the attack, so it doesn't matter if they're stealth, it then hits flare.
Yep.
So, yeah, I think they're the answer. The machine guns put the flares down, and then the field guns just hit home. So
you pair up each gun with 2 machine guns, really.
Yeah. Although then you're looking at, 6 points of machine guns and 8 for the heavy field guns, so that's 28 points of your list. So
yeah, it's fine.
It's not too bad, but yeah.
I was going to say, you back up to 75, just chuck in 2 Striders and boom, boom, McCoy, and then away you go.
That's it. That's what you need.
Robin's Gravedigger army is going to look like.
Yeah.
I've not actually fought against Gravediggers yet, so I think Aaron's going to use them tomorrow. So we'll see if.
No.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell him not to now.
Yeah, just so when I go to Welsh that I've never faced Gravediggers. Been having a look.
You could lie to us at the end. Go, I haven't faced any Gravediggers. And no one will.
I have a 100% record against Orgoth. I haven't played any. It's still a 100% record.
Yeah. So yeah, I think both.
My record against Crucible Guard.
Yeah. Both those editions are nice, interesting things to go in. The models are cool for both of them. I really like the heavy field gun model. I think that's one I might be tempted to just pick up and paint as a little diorama piece anyway, because I think it looks cool.
100%.
So, yeah.
The guy who did Tiny Plug Art, I want to see Epic War Machine and lots of these little Striders.
Yeah.
I want to see the little field gun.
Yeah.
Teeny tiny field gun. We need to
teeny tiny field gun on a huge base.
Make like a travel war machine. And
I really want one Epic, so that way we can get the airships in and you can get all little tiny drop guys on it.
What they need is War Machine Total War. If anyone knows how to mod Total War and wants to make me a War Machine version, I'd be very happy.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely love that.
To go with my War Machine disc plates that I need to replace these. So I have replaced some of my background. I've got my Undercity.
You've done really well.
Yeah, Undercity and Widower's Wood are down, so I'm going to start harassing my board gaming friends to come and play some Undercity and Widower's Wood with me soon, and then
I do love a good game of Undercity.
I haven't played it in a while.
I have played. I have played neither.
There we go. I'll have to get you around to play that as well at some point. It's good fun. The last time I played Undercity was at my friend's wedding. We booked a whole town out in Cornwall for a week, and just it was about 50 of us went and descended on this little hamlet, and we were the only people there. And there was like a big manor house thing in the middle where the wedding was and everything. And we just went in there every day and played board games for an entire week. It was glorious. So, yeah. So anyway, are we on to the conspiracy part of our day now?
Do we need the tinfoil?
Get the tinfoil.
Is Aaron real or is he not? There's our big conspiracy.
So part of the drop today was a new section in the fiction app called Interstitials with the story Desolation. Now, I'm not going to go too much into exactly what happens in the story and what's going on, but it's Menoth based. So, we know that there are currently Menoth we don't know what they're doing. We don't know what's going on in the current fluff for them, except now. So, a little few pages. It's not a huge one, but it's Malachus the Burning Truth is the character in the story. So he's still alive. He survived the Infernal War, and in theory, at the end of this year, there is an army that was marked on the timeline as redacted. So after the Kithgard, so you've got Old Umbre coming, then Kithgard, then redacted army. So tinfoil hat time, that's definitely going to be Menoth, right?
I mean, 100%. I don't see any world where it won't be Manoff. And as we all know, like I started this with Manoff.
So you'd be
Damn it! Why are they doing this to me? I mean, I'm already doing old Umbre. Come on.
I'll do Manoff. Oh wait, no, I've got too many.
Robin's like, I'll just do another army. If I can paint 100 points a month, it's alright.
Oh, he does it in a week.
Yeah, true.
I think my partner's sick of me. I think she's trying to hint to me to stop painting to get the paints off the table. But
It's an absolute painting machine. So I don't know, because we've got, like, obviously we've had the 2 second army releases for Signar and Kador. We know there is a second army of trolls. So are we going to see Dusk and Orgoth and Chimera second armies first? Or are we going to see...
I don't know.
Menoth? I don't know.
maybe it would be nice to see some Krells already have the second army with the frogs, but they might actually get more frogs.
You reckon the Kithgard might have some more frogs in it, or just have some more frogs added to the list?
I think they might. It'd be stupid not to do stuff with those frogs, because I know
People love the frogs.
Brandan, he plays frogs, and he wants more frogs instead of having to buy another box of them.
Yeah.
So
He definitely wants more frogs.
It would be just nice to see like a war beast that is just a pure frog. Like, so now we've got I think it's the solo big one.
There is a war beast. The Viraga is a war beast.
Yeah. Or maybe we could have salamanders or newts or something to go along with them. I don't know.
Maybe some sort of light frog malarkey.
Maybe. Yeah, or we're having a new secondary army.
Yeah, I mean, we know we've got the Cadra coming in the next 2-player starter set is Dusk, which is the Graveborn, and it's just labelled as Nis, isn't it, at the moment? So we're going to get some sort of
I think so.
elf thing. Don't know, but excited about that. The actual second army for them. Do we know the name of the second army for? Actually, it was Deathless and Nis was the 2, so is Graveborn the second army?
Yeah. Possibly.
Maybe.
And then the Fane of Nero is going to be the second Dusk army. But we don't really know anything much beyond knowing what the Fane of Nero is, and that's kind of the original Eldritch that have always been Eldritch, even in the time of Retribution and Ios, before shenanigans and dead gods and other things. So.
Just ask Scorshade, he'll fill you in.
Putting his babies on spikes. Sorry, what?
No, he's just spiking babies to the ground.
Yeah.
But it's again, it is nice just an episode where we can throw out ideas of what we'd like to see. I really would like to see new men off. I still remember the 2-player start set very fondly with the Kador and Menoth in it. Back in it was second edition. That was a really great box. It was again that was a nice way to get in and play. Hopefully they redo that box because I really do want Serana again. I
Yeah.
probably butchered the pronunciation of that, but I'd love to see her the Scythe Wielder again.
Do you mean Sorsha?
Sorsha, yes. We went over this in the last episode. I'm terrible with Russian.
But if you want a Sorsha,
English language as it is, so leave me alone.
I can hook you up. I've got a couple of copies.
Fantastic. I will be very chuffed with that. But no, it would just be nice to own that model again. But yeah, that was an amazing 2-player start set. It would be nice to see and off again. Even if they just recreated some of the old style 2-player start boxes like Christmas Signar. I know we've had the Kador one. If they were to come out with a new cadre, that would be quite nice to see. Probably not going to happen. But again, the 2-player start sets are my personal. I really like them. I think they're a great way of getting into a game. It also brings new cadres and people who want to split boxes. Or if you don't want to split boxes, it's a nice way of maybe I'll dabble
Then
in
you
this
just have
army.
to play 2 armies, don't you? So
Yeah,
that's it. You're going to turn into us who just build a second army so you can bully new people into trying it, and then they'll buy everything.
I'm being very disciplined at the moment and sticking with sorting out my Grimkin, getting their 100 points done, and then Dusk for getting ready for Welsh. Although I did look at one of my Welsh lists, my Skirafel list, Sirafel or Skirafel, I don't know, and I looked at it, laid all the troops out in front of me. I went, this list is trash. I need to scrap that and start again, I think.
Yeah, I need to sit and go through the 2 lists I'm taking. But I think that's going to be an entire episode of its own, just me and you going through our lists.
Talking of which, I am literally 1 Toro away from a 400 points list.
Yeah.
Well done.
Nice. I love the Toro model. I think that is the Toro and Nomad are like my favourite looking jacks. Like they're both.
I've got a Nomad
utilitarian. I've got one somewhere that I painted up for just. I wanted to paint one, so I found one on eBay cheap. I think I got it from Dan in the end, but yeah, I love them.
I mean, I've got my Galleon, it's there.
And I love the Nomad. I love the original metal Nomad with the. So it just looks so cool. Like the pose and everything about that model is awesome. I've got a Diatrol, the original Diatrol Mauler as well, the metal one, because that again is just looks so cool. It's cool.
Yeah, I still have my Magnus traitor. See, I always get confused because there's so many different variations of Magnus. It's Magnus with the Signar, the down Signar Warjack, light Warjack.
That'd be Magnus 2, I think.
Yeah, it's Magnus 2. Although I can never remember whether that's the traitor or the warlord or the.
Because you go the traitor, the warlord. Did they do a third one?
Well, I bought him
for the current one.
This is Magnus 4, I'm sure of it.
But anyway, he's in the painting cupboard. I've had him since 2nd edition, and he's the only War Machine model that I've had for that long, and I love that model. So
I've started to rummage through all the stuff in the loft, where we're about to get extension work is going on. We're about to get rip some of the roof off, so I need to move everything from one side of the loft to the other, but I also need to board the other side of the loft. So I'm going through and getting rid of stuff, and I found my original Mark 1 Kador in a box, which I didn't think I had anymore. I thought I'd sold those years ago, so yeah, that was surprising. And that hence why Undercity has been dug out. That's been in the pile of board games in the loft of these are ones we don't want to part with, but we're not playing at the moment, so that's come down, and that's going to.
That's fair.
Because I need to have Cephalix around me at all times. Right. So are we done with our paranoid conspiracy ranting, or have we got anywhere else we want?
I mean, Paranoia conspiracy is, I believe, very close to being true. If the guys from Steamforge are watching and want to give us any hints, we're not going to be against it.
Something tells me that's going to stay very quiet.
No.
Next time they do an AMA,
Yeah, but you can't.
We can just bombard it with
Don't
me
hurt to
requesting
ask.
displates and you requesting Manoth.
I mean, we've also been. What else did we have on the docket for today, guys?
I think that's everything.
Sorry, just one.
Was that
We
everything?
move on. I do want a blind water congregation to come back.
I think, given how they've done the obviously dark operations, they've basically said, "Hey, it's Pharaoh next." I wouldn't be surprised if Blind Water Congregation and the Gators are going to follow on to that. At which point,
Widow's Word.
yay!
I think I've got the expansion for that here somewhere.
I have
Well,
the
who even the
expansion for
Soldiers
that
of Fortune? Because like,
right here.
who
If
the
anyone
hell's
has the
playing
expansion
it?
for Undercity, I never actually got that. So
Neither did I.
if anyone has
willing
one
to pay
at
lots
a
of
reasonable
money.
price, hit me up and I will harvest Robin's organs and then
You
purchase it.
match for them.
Cool.
So,
Because oh, sorry.
what were you going to say?
I really want the Buccaneer model back.
I've got one. It's over there somewhere.
I love that model. It's dumb. I bought it with Magnus, and it's just so dumb with its hook and its
Because
net.
I've got almost all of the pirate model, and it's so
That's
fun.
so cool.
But I will hasten to add especially on my part, a thank you to Chris at Monstrous Makings. We will insert a picture like here, roughly.
You've got to do the picture sign, insert picture thing here.
Robin,
Signal.
insert picture.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's essentially I have had an idea. Well, I had this idea for these movement sticks for a little while, and yeah, so I've got our logo on my movement sticks ready for going to events, local games, and I don't have to carry that big ass tray from Welsh Masters like 4 years ago, however long it was.
A while ago, wasn't it?
It was a hot minute ago.
I use that every games thing we play, regardless if it's to Malifaux to. I don't know.
My Malifaux. I've got some special ones for Malifaux. You know that.
No.
I just remember using your Welsh Masters ones when we were today.
So Mike and I are going to be at Welsh at the end of September. We're getting ready for that. So we've also had a nice conversation with Goblin Girl Dice. She's going to do us some dice sets to take with us as well. So
that would be so cool. I'm really looking forward to it.
I've got a couple of sets from her already, but yeah. So
I've definitely got to have a word with her about getting some for me.
Yeah, we'll also out some coloured ones to match your army, and we'll have a look at those.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. I think that's everything
Excited.
we have on our list today.
Yeah.
Do you want to put a link in the description for so people can have a look at the Goblin Girl dice?
Oh, absolutely. We'll have a link in the description for Goblin Girl Dice.
Cool. Yeah. Awesome.
Because it's definitely send people her way.
Yeah. So
we just named this episode The Shilling.
The one with the shilling.
This is where we try and pimp everything out to you guys and try and get you to spend money. Cool. Right. Well, thank you very much for listening. If you want to hear more from us, subscribe, notify bell thing stuff. Patreon if you want to chuck some support to us. And then we can get better mics and so not that mic, the microphone mics, that kind of like better audio equipment and better video equipment to do.
I mean, you could try and get a better me, but
You are
I don't know if I can get
Mike.
much better.
You're irreplaceable. So are you, Robin?
You are irreplaceable. Somebody cares. It's first time for everything. Well, before I forget, I should have probably done this right at the beginning when we were talking about things doing. I have started on a Tuesday between 5:30 and 7:30. If you want to come join us, we are doing painting hobby hour. If you can come for as long as you can. Yeah, sorry. There's no.
Tuesday night hobby hangouts on the
I
Discord.
think what it's
Yeah.
called now.
So yeah,
That's the one.
come chill
Mike,
out
we'll
and
put words in my mouth.
paint with us. I promise this next week I won't be cooking dinner whilst
Damn, I missed it.
I did put a kind of like thought about it when I was on my lunch break and was like, cool, let's check this out. And then I was like, I'm really hungry. Let's put pizza on. So it was just me and Mazz on the channel whilst I was painting, waiting for my pizza to cook whilst he was cooking his food.
whilst
So
I was cooking dinner. So
yeah,
it was good times. It was good times. But we'll actually paint next time. So, and if people do want to do hobby hangouts and things like that, just shout, jump on the Discord, give us a shout. There's a channel in there.
I was going to say, if people can't do a Tuesday and want to do one, let us know.
Yeah.
anytime that you guys want to do it, it'd be one of us four, Aaron included.
I mean, even if we're not around,
currently being dad.
jump in, hobby hangout with other people.
Yeah,
it's cool. Awesome. Right. Well, thanks very much, and we'll see you next week.
see you later.
All right.